Hey guys, Weiss here. Welcome to another pickups video. See Ozzy picking up the late great Randy Rhoads pickups video. Going to be showing you guys some awesome comic books and video game finds I've made recently. Going to tell you where I got it, where I got all this cool stuff, what I paid for it, and all that kind of thing. So I've found some pretty cool stuff lately, and I'm going to show you one of the coolest things at the beginning of the video and a couple of awesome things at the end of the video. So hold on tight. Now, very briefly, you guys know about the Nes Omnibus Volume One. A lot of you ordered it direct from me, signed copies. A lot of you guys backed the Kickstarter. Really greatly appreciate that. Well, Volume 2 is now available for pre-order. If you go to BrettWeissWords.com, you can pre-order a copy now. Now, direct orders are so awesome, super helpful, and you get, freebies. Anytime you order direct from me, you get a free autograph and all that kind of stuff. There is going to be a Kickstarter for the Nes Omnibus Volume 1, but if you would like to pre-order the book without using Kickstarter, just go to BrettWeissWords.com. You can take a good, close look at the cover and get more information about the book, including how to pre-order. And I've already gotten a lot of pre-orders in, which is awesome. The book will be out October 28th. Thank you guys so much for ordering, pre-ordering, reading, watching, and all that great stuff. Thank you very much. So let's get to it. So one of the more interesting things I've found recently is it pertains to comics. Check this out. Astro Comics, your favorite comic book characters on American Airlines. This was probably given away, like maybe when you sat down for your flight. Perhaps this was in the seat behind, in front of you or whatever. I don't know, but I love the Harvey characters. Big fan of Richie Rich in particular. And as you can see there, I paid just $1.99 for that. A great deal. Found this today, in fact. Went to Half Price Books and found a ton of comics for some really great prices. Now check this out. Now on the back, this is to certify that you're a passenger on the airline. Really cool. I love these oddball comics, and they probably reprint some, stories from the Harvey line, but it's a special edition comic. Very cool giveaway. Just unique. And see, there's some content exclusive to this issue. Really cool. Gotta love it. Now, most of the comic books I found today are to resell in my antique booth, but I found some stuff to keep, and I'm definitely keeping that. And I am keeping this stack of Archies. I love me some Archie comics when I've been writing all day, or just tired. They're just fun to read. Just very relaxing and simple. If I'm not looking for anything too heavy to read. And these were 50 cents a pop, as you can see. The sticker right on the cover there. Not a huge deal. I'm not worried about the value or anything of these. I just glad to have a stack of Archie comics for 50 cents a pop. Awesome. Let's see. Also found, now most of these are here to sell. Big stack of Doctor Who comics. Recent Doctor Who comics, with $3 and $4 cover prices. Again, these were 50 cents a pop. These are going to be great fodder for my antique mall. I have a booth in an antique mall, as a lot of you guys know, called the Time Machine. And again, 50 cents a pop. Gotta love it. Cool covers, and these will be easy sells in the antique booth. I'll probably maybe put them out for $3 a pop or so. No problem at all. Now, another media tie-in comics I found. Check this out. Massive stack of Buffy comics. Again, 50 cents a pop. These were in Half Price Books clearance section. I took my mom just for a checkup today at the doctor's office, and it was about an hour long. So while she was there was a Half Price Books about less than 10 minutes away. So I went game and comic book hunting. How did that get stuck in there? I don't want that. Buffy, and more Buffy. Buffy is still popular. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. And I've got Buffy comics of my own, like the season 8, which is really cool. And a lot of these will go in my antique booth. Great painted covers in a lot of cases. These look fantastic. And again, this media tie-in stuff, check this out. Great. Wow, great looking Buffy Summers art. So gorgeous. I wish I could draw like that or paint like that. That is awesome. Check this Willow cover out. Slightly racy, but pretty awesome. Very cool. Again, 50 cents a pop. And what's cool about these is they are bagged and boarded. Willow looking spooky. Very cool. Great looking stuff here, guys. But yeah, these will go in the antique booth, maybe $3 or $4 a pop, and Buffy taking off like, looks kind of like a superhero there, taking flight. Awesome. Tons of Buffy and Doctor Who comics. That will be awesome for the old comic book booth. Now, a keeper I found at Half Price today is this Mad magazine with Alien spoof. Now, Half Price books, they're magazines if they're not marked, and they're usually not. Most of their magazines are just $1 a piece, so cool looking Mad magazine that I don't have for $1, a no-brainer. Let's see, also on the same principle, they had this for just $1. It wasn't bagged or priced or anything, it was just $1. Now this is awesome. This is a recent Jaws 45th anniversary magazine with a $14 cover price, and it's just chock full of great pictures from the film and making of information, all that kind of stuff. A great deal at just $1. Now, if you've noticed at the grocery store and everything, a lot of magazines are being published these days. Special edition, $12, $13, $14, $15 a piece. Well, I found a number of these at Half Price Books for just $1, because usually they'll put most of their magazines for $1. I found a John Wayne one and Led Zeppelin one and several others. Special edition, really nice magazines for just $1 a pop at Half Price Books. So if you're at the grocery store and you see these special editions, sometimes if you wait, you might find them at if there's a Half Price Books somewhere near you, check their magazine section. You might find these recent expensive magazines for just $1 a piece. Now, while I was at Half Price Books, next door there is a really cool thrift store, and it benefits like a woman's shelter or something, which is awesome. And I went there today. Every time I go to this particular Half Price Books, I go next door to this thrift store, and oftentimes I find a lot of stuff. These Sega Master System games, about 15 of them, boxed and mint, came from this particular thrift store probably about 5 years ago. But today, I didn't find anything quite that great, but I did get this Sylvester and Twitty Bird puzzle. This is great for just, as you can see, $1. Love it. Love the price. I love the art, all that color. Looks awesome. May even put this sucker together. It's 125 pieces. Might be a fun thing to do on a Saturday afternoon. Very, very cool. Might put it together, make sure the pieces are all there. It'll be fun to put together. And that looks so neat. I might put it up somewhere, or I might take it, just put it back in the box and sell it at the antique mall. Regardless, it looks awesome. Now, same Half Price Books. All this today, as far as these comics and that puzzle go. Very cool. More 50-cent comics. Had like 3 big boxes of clearance comics. Now, most of this is Batman stuff, but I want to show you this real quick. These are all 50 cents a piece, again, bagged and boarded. I picked up this Suicide Squad because Harley, obviously, still very popular, so that's a no-brainer for the antique mall. Guardians of the Galaxy, Prelude, obviously that's a good sell. 3D Batman comic, and then just random Batman titles. Lots of Batman stuff, and including a title I wasn't really that familiar with, Batman Eternal. If any of you guys have read that series, let me know. Batman and Robin Eternal. This looks like it was in the New 52 era, which I believe is already out of continuity. It's hard to keep up with Marvel and DC continuity these days. Again, big stack of Batman comics, 50 cents a piece. This will be great for my antique booth. All right, guys, so I went to the Retropalooza swap meet over a month ago, and I found a comic book related item there that is awesome. The official Marvel Comics Tryout book. Back in the day, if you were a prospective, you had ambitions to write, to ink, to draw, or edit, or whatever for Marvel Comics, you could use this book. Marvel Comics Wants You. And it's got like art pages you could use, and you could try out to be a Marvel Comics creator. Very cool. Information on scripting and everything. It's just great. It's a huge book, really cool collectible. You can't use this anymore to try out to be a Marvel artist, but it's really a great relic. I believe this was sometime in the 80s. Yeah, 1983. Really cool. Man, I was a huge comic fan around this time. I was 16 years old. This was an awesome time to be a video game and comic book fan. So speaking of video games, let's get to the video games. You guys have probably been waiting for that are gamers and really aren't into comics. So I did, I mentioned the Retropalooza swap meet. So let's, a little over a month ago, let's show you a couple things I got there. Now this was a mind blower. The vendor next to me, Holt, a good friend of mine, he just starts putting out all this stuff. Had this brand new Legend of Zelda Four Swords Adventures for the GameCube, the Player's Choice Edition. Not quite as much as the regular edition, you know, that came before this without the Player's Choice thing, but still, factory sealed. This was a killer bargain at $50. Awesome. And Holt said, you should get it graded, you know, send it off to WADA or whatever and get it graded. I've never done that before, to be honest, but this would be a good opportunity to but a no-brainer at 50 bucks, a great deal. It's tempting to open this for the channel, but it goes for about $250 factory sealed, so it'd be kind of a rough a rough thing to do. I don't know if I'll do that, I probably won't. And I got a game I've been wanting for a while, a fantastic game, Legend of the Mystical Ninja for the Super Nintendo. This is a fantastic game that I didn't actually own. Obviously, I'd played it before. Excellent game. I love this Legend of the Mystical Ninja. A little bit hard to find, but it got traded into me while I was running my booth there at the Retropalooza swap meet. Well, there we go. Let's see. So just recently, I did the DFW Toy Show, a Toy Expo, and that's also put at the Retropalooza swap meet is put on by the Game Chasers, Billy and Jay. Well, they also put on the DFW Toy Expo in Arlington, which is between Dallas and Fort Worth. Both of these shows were in Arlington, and I had a great time at both shows, setting up as a vendor, but also made some good finds. I traded a couple of PSP UMDs I didn't want for this really cool Pac-Man plug and play. Now, I really like this, and I've had my eye on this for a long time. I remember when it was new in stores, and I see it here and there every once in a while. I just never have jumped on it, but a trade for a couple of UMDs I didn't need, perfect. He had it marked for $10, and I just said, hey, look at my table. Do you see anything you want for that amount? And yeah, it was again my friend Holt. He sat up next to me again at this show, as he did at Retropalooza Swap Meet. And the Toy Expo, he traded me this, and what's really cool about this, so not only does it have Pac-Man, it's got this lineup of classic games, but what's really cool is, it's got Pac-Man level 256, you see there? You can start Pac-Man at level 255, which you should be able to reach 256, which is the famous kill screen, you know, it splits and, you know, glitches and all of that, and that's the final level. That is awesome that you can play it on this plug and play. That's really cool, and I like that design as well. That is awesome. So that was a great score that I barely even really just traded for, which is awesome. Barely paid anything for. Trades are great, aren't they? So let's see. Also at the DFW Toy Expo, I picked up a game that I used to rent when I was working on a book back in the 90s called Captain Cartridge Rates the Games. This was a book that never got published. It was going to be on the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, a book of reviews. Captain Cartridge Rates the Games. It never got published, unfortunately. I just couldn't find a publisher for it. And because, you know, in the 90s, it was a lot harder to get a retro gaming book published than it is today. But Batman Returns. This is an amazing game. One of the best beat-em-ups of the 16-bit era. You don't hear enough about this game. It's got big characters, gorgeous graphics, multi-layered graphics, a lot of detail in the backgrounds and foregrounds, really nice looking characters, great beat-em-up action, fantastic Batman Returns. I like the Batman Returns movie. I'm not big on Penguin because he's kind of gross and just, ugh. And Shrek, or Max Shrek or whatever, not the greatest, but I love Catwoman and Batman in this movie, and I love the Christmas theme throughout, which does show in the video game as well. This is an amazing game. I love it. So the way I got that, Batman Returns, and this copy of Mario Party 8, the Batman game was priced at $20, and Mario Party 8 priced at $30, so 50 bucks, right? I had a Star Wars print, just some artwork that I didn't want, and I brought it with me to the show. I put it at my table. It didn't sell, so late in the day, I offered it to a vendor. I said, do you want some trade for this? You know, just equal swap, because I had it marked at $50. And he actually collected Star Wars art, and he said, absolutely, yes. So I looked around, I considered a couple of Switch games, but they weren't really in that great a condition, and they weren't really titles I was really looking for, but I definitely wanted Batman Returns, which is awesome. And I never really got into the Mario Party games much, and I thought, why not? Mario Party 8. I've been playing my Wii quite a bit lately, so I'll throw in some Mario Party 8, and I don't know, just have some fun. Maybe when my kids are home or whatever. We can have some family fun. That'll be great. All right, a couple more video game pickups. This was a recent trip to a different half-price bookstore. I found this Ultimate Zelda Companion. Now, this is a magazine, a special edition magazine. They didn't have this priced for $1. They had it priced up a little bit for $3, as you can see. Normally they put price tags, but for some reason they put this label and wrote it in. As a matter of fact, I thought that was from another source, like at a garage sale or something. But they said, no, that's their price. It was $3. And this is a really deep dive, you know, full magazine on Zelda, all the way from 1986 to 2017's Breath of the Wild. How is Breath of the Wild over 3 years old already? That is crazy. But it's a good-looking magazine with a lot of detailed information, a keeper for sure, a real convenient guide to the Zelda series. I love that. And also got the Final Fantasy The Spirits Within soundtrack. Now, I remember when Final Fantasy The Spirits Within came out, you know, fully computer animated throughout, which is very unusual for movies at that time. And I really enjoyed it. And the soundtrack, I'll be honest with you, I don't remember much about the music from the movie because I haven't seen it in a long time. But I remember enjoying the movie quite a bit, even though it definitely got mixed reviews. But I just paid $2 for this bad boy at Half Price Books. Awesome. Another recent Half Price Books pickup. Actually, this is today with all those comics I bought. I also got this Joust. I love these tabletop arcade games. I put them all around my game room, just at different parts. They make different parts. They make great displays, and these are really playable. This particular series is awesome. These are great, and they look really cool too. I want to make a diorama at some point. Check out the back there with arcades all around and maybe action figures or something playing the games. I've always had that in mind, and I've just never gotten to it, but I think that would be awesome. Joust was $9.99, not bad at all. I see these for, you know, still in the package for 20, 25 bucks at shows sometime, but $9.99 is my kind of price. Awesome. All right, guys, let's get to some more pickups, and I'm going to show you something really special in just a little bit here because we're getting down to it. My wife and I recently were just bumming around downtown Fort Worth, and we went to a place called Barber's Bookstore. And this is a cool, old-school retail joint. It used to be a much bigger store, but Larry Mcmurtry's bookstore in Archer City, Texas. Larry Mcmurtry, the famous author of like Lonesome Dove and Last Picture Show, he owns a bookstore in a Texas town, a small Texas town. And he bought out Barber's Books. But anyway, there's still a smaller version of Barber's Books there. My wife and I went there recently when we were just kind of bumming around the town, going to different cool places in Fort Worth. And we popped in for a little bit, and you know, there's stacks everywhere, and this is old school retail bookstore. Got these copies of Ripley's Believe It or Not. Very nostalgic. These were $2 a piece. Not bad, not bad. And these are just, you know, when I was a kid, if you wanted to see something weird or strange and unusual, no internet, so you went to the Guinness Book of World Records and Ripley's Believe It or Not, you know, just for freaks and strange occurrences. And, you know, these were in comic panel form, and just all kinds of strange facts, believe it or not. And just a nice little series of books, very nostalgic. And I found this Shocking Futures graphic novel by Alan Moore, an Alan Moore work I haven't read yet. And Alan Moore, you know, the author of Watchmen, who can be very grumpy, but he's an awesome writer. Anyway, so that'll be cool to check out. And down to it. So recently my son came over the other day and he said, hey, someone at work gave me these items, and I thought you might like them. And so here we go. It was several things, but these are the highlights. These two awesome 1960s Batman coloring books. Wow, amazing. Vroom Scree Batman coloring book. How cool is that? Probably frame that, or at least put it in a bag and board and put it on the wall somewhere. That looks so awesome. Now I notice a lot of coloring books that you find are partially colored here and there. Maybe the kid got bored with it at some point. This one's hardly colored at all, but pretty cool art for a coloring book. And just, there you go. That's a cool spread there. Looks great. Awesome sauce. And this was produced, I imagine around 66 or 67, because that's when yep, 66, to capitalize off the Batman TV show. How freaking cool is that? But I've noticed a lot of old coloring books are just partially colored. Didn't really stay in the lines there. Very young kid coloring this. But kids would oftentimes get bored with coloring books, because I've noticed a lot of times with these old coloring books that I go through, just some of the pages are colored and a lot of them aren't. Now, it looks like maybe an older sibling colored that picture. That looks great. Very nicely done. How cool is that? All right, guys, let me know in the comments what cool pickups have you guys made lately. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Thank you for ordering the NES Omnibus Volume 1 and pre-ordering Volume 2. Again, if you go to BrettWeissWords.com, you can find all the information you'll need to pre-order the NES Omnibus Volume 1. And again, if you'd rather wait for the Kickstarter, which will be in 2 or 3 months or so, you are, of course, welcome to do that. And anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing. That is awesome. That is super helpful. I am racing towards 3,000 subscribers, and I hope to hit that very soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. And again, let me know in the comments what pickups have you found recently, whether gaming or comic book. Thank you so much, guys. We will talk to you in another video.